Iran is entering one of the most severe internal crises it has faced in decades, and it is not driven by politics, protests, or foreign pressure. It is driven by water, something so fundamental to survival that its absence is beginning to reshape the country's daily life, economy, and future. Across the nation, lakes are shrinking, rivers have disappeared, the soil is turning to dust, and entire communities live with uncertainty each morning as they turn on taps that no longer deliver what they once could rely on. The scale of the crisis is becoming impossible to ignore. Scientists, local officials, and international observers warn that Iran is approaching a tipping point where the consequences could become irreversible, affecting millions of people and triggering social shifts that the country is not prepared to handle. Despite this escalating emergency, the Iranian government continues to devote significant financial and political capital to nuclear development, enrichment programs, missile systems, and regional military capabilities. While the leadership insists these initiatives are essential for national security and international leverage, the widening gap between state priorities and citizens' urgent daily needs has intensified frustration. Many Iranians feel they are being asked to take pride in scientific advances while struggling to secure the most basic requirement for life. A sense of imbalance permeates communities, from crowded cities to remote villages where families wait in long queues for tanker deliveries, farmers watch their livelihoods collapse, and residents question what future remains if water scarcity continues to worsen. The crisis is not purely environmental. While climate change and recurring droughts have played major roles, experts consistently point to long-standing mismanagement as a central driver. Iran once possessed resilient, ancient water systems that supported civilization for centuries. Over the past several decades, however, policies prioritizing rapid development, poorly planned dam construction, extensive river diversion, and over-extraction of groundwater have depleted resources faster than they can be replenished. Aquifers that took thousands of years to form are being drained within a single generation as groundwater sinks lower, wells run dry, land subsidence increases, and in some regions, the earth itself collapses under the pressure. The ecological impacts have been profound, and recovery, if possible at all, will require strategic planning and long-term investment that experts say has yet to materialize. Inside households across the country, the crisis is felt in small and large ways that define daily routines. Families in several provinces wake up unsure whether water will flow at all that day. Some neighborhoods receive only a few hours of water each week, forcing people to ration what little they have. Others rely entirely on tanker trucks that arrive sporadically, sometimes sparking chaos as residents rush to fill containers before supplies run out. The emotional weight of uncertainty affects not only physical health but also mental well-being. Parents worry about sanitation for their children. Elderly residents endure long walks under extreme heat to find potable water. In many communities, the exhaustion is both physical and psychological. As people adapt to a crisis, they feel powerless to change. Agriculture, one of Iran's most critical sectors, has been hit with devastating force. Farmers in regions once known for fertile lands now face cracked earth, dying orchards, and fields that can no longer sustain crops. The death of livestock has further undermined the economic stability of rural households. Some families, unable to survive the losses, have been forced to abandon ancestral lands and move to cities where they encounter the same scarcity they hoped to escape. This migration places new pressure on urban water systems already strained by population growth and decades of infrastructure underinvestment. The ripple effects extend into food prices, unemployment, and social cohesion, raising concerns that the crisis could deepen economic vulnerabilities across the nation. Major cities including Tehran, Isfahan, Shiraz, and Mashhad are not insulated from the emergency. Reports of declining reservoir levels and shrinking rivers have prompted temporary restrictions, with authorities urging residents to reduce consumption during peak hours. But these measures, while helpful in slowing depletion, do not address the structural issues driving the shortages. Urban officials warn that without a comprehensive national strategy, more drastic rationing may become unavoidable. Residents fear scenarios already witnessed in smaller towns: unpredictable supply, reliance on tankers, and the breakdown of reliable municipal distribution. Social media has become a powerful platform for expressing growing anger and desperation. Videos circulate of crowds surrounding tanker trucks, arguments erupting over limited water availability, and farmers displaying dead crops as symbols of neglect. These posts reflect not only individual struggles but also a collective sense that warnings have been ignored. Citizens increasingly question why vast financial resources continue to flow toward nuclear and military initiatives, while water treatment facilities, modern irrigation systems, wastewater recycling plants, and sustainable resource policies remain insufficient. Iran's leadership defends its focus on nuclear development and enrichment capabilities as essential for national resilience and regional security, arguing that technological progress ensures the country's independence and protects against external threats. But for ordinary families, the immediate threat is not geopolitical. It is the empty tap in their homes, the failing riverbeds outside their towns, and the uncertainty of providing water for their children. This disparity in priorities has created a widening emotional distance between citizens and the state at a time when unity and long-term planning are urgently needed. The environmental consequences have been visually dramatic. Lake Urmia, once among the largest saltwater lakes in the world, has continued to shrink significantly despite intermittent restoration attempts. The receding water has exposed vast salt flats that generate dust storms, damaging crops, affecting respiratory health, and accelerating soil degradation across nearby provinces. The disappearance of wetlands and rivers, combined with desertification, threatens biodiversity and increases temperatures in already vulnerable regions. Each environmental loss carries with it a social cost, felt most acutely by communities that rely on natural resources for survival. As the crisis expands, experts warn that Iran could face one of the largest internal displacement events in the region's recent history. If aquifers collapse completely in certain provinces, a process scientists say is already underway in several areas, entire towns may become uninhabitable. This would force residents to migrate in search of reliable water, straining resources in destination cities and creating new economic and social pressures. International researchers monitoring the situation caution that without immediate intervention, Iran may confront a future in which large geographical areas are unable to sustain human life. For many Iranians, the most painful aspect of the crisis is the sense that solutions exist but are not being implemented at the scale required. Countries with similarly arid climates have invested heavily in desalination technology, advanced irrigation systems, water recycling, and smart distribution networks. These investments have allowed them to stabilize supplies and reduce vulnerability to drought. Iran, despite having the technical expertise and financial capability to pursue similar strategies, has not given water infrastructure the priority that analysts believe it demands. Instead, national budgets continue to emphasize nuclear research, defense systems, and regional military activities, all areas the government deems essential, but which many citizens view as secondary to the survival of daily life. The human consequences reach into health and education as well. Hospitals face sanitation problems during low supply periods, increasing the risk of infection. Children miss school when they must help families gather water. Businesses that depend on consistent supply struggle to operate, reducing productivity and undermining local economies. As these disruptions accumulate, they create a cycle of instability that becomes harder to break. Water scarcity is not simply an environmental challenge. It infiltrates every layer of society, shaping emotional resilience, economic strength, and national stability. International observers have repeatedly stated that Iran still has an opportunity to reverse the trend, but only if decisive action is taken soon. The country has a highly educated engineering workforce, significant research capacity, and the resources necessary to build a modern water management system. But doing so requires a shift in priorities, long-term planning, transparency, and collaboration with global experts, conditions that analysts say have yet to align. Without these changes, each passing year makes recovery more difficult, especially as climate change intensifies weather extremes and reduces rainfall in regions already facing historic drought. Many Iranians continue to hope for a turning point. They envision a future in which rivers flow again, farmland recovers, and families resume ordinary routines without fear of shortages. They want leadership that places human survival above symbolic achievements, investing in the basic infrastructure that allows a nation to thrive. They want water security to become the foundation of national planning, not an afterthought. But until priorities shift towards sustainable solutions, millions will remain caught between hope and despair, navigating a crisis they did not create but cannot escape. The story of Iran's water crisis is a story of urgency, resilience, and a population fighting to preserve its future. It is also a reminder that no nation, regardless of technological ambition, can stand strong without securing the fundamental needs of its people. As rivers dry and lakes shrink, as farmland turns to dust and households ration every drop, the message from communities across Iran grows clearer. Survival begins not with reactors or enrichment programs, but with water. Until that truth is reflected in national policy, the crisis will continue to deepen, shaping the destiny of a country that now stands at a critical crossroads.